It's beautiful out right now. The sun came out about an hour and a half ago. 61 degrees, perfect football weather. Alabama won the toss and deferred. There's the series record. Actually, Auburn leads in games in Tuscaloosa. This is the 20th year it's been away from Legion Field now and in a home-and-home setting. And what a setting it is. Joseph Bulovas will get us started. And Auburn will work from its 25-yard line. As we take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And it all starts with number 8. As Gary said, probably at his best game a year ago in this matchup. 21 out of 28 for 237 yards and also 51 on the ground. If he can repeat that today with this group around him, that would be a big step in the right direction. Seth Williams, who's from right here in Tuscaloosa, a freshman receiver, has become his big play threat. Chandler Cox in the backfield with Jatarvius Whitlow, but it's Stidham on a slant and in and out of the hands of the guy I just mentioned. Williams dropped it. Defensively for Alabama, we talked about some of their seniors, including Bugs. Anthony Jennings coming off probably his best game. 11 tackles and a fumble recovery for a touchdown in the win over the Citadel last week. Second down and 10. Stidham fires back to the same spot, in and out of the hands that time of Ryan Davis.
Oh, come on. If you're the quarterback, everybody's talking to you about can you play as well as last year, and you put 2 strikes on your teammates and they drop them both. Guys, I'm ready. Are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Ryan Davis, all-time leading receiver as far as number of catches in Auburn history, and that one hit him right in the hands. Third down at 10, and third down has not been good to Auburn this year compared to a season ago. Stidham steps up, fires sideline, knocked down by Shaheem Carter.
All right. So I think the third drop cancels out the first 2 drops. Because Jared is very fortunate that this wasn't a pick 6. There he is right there. Watch him undercut this throw, and I thought Shaheem had it all the way for a touchdown. Had to lay out there at the end, but I thought he was going to pick it off. He made a good deflection, but when it was in the air, I was like, uh-oh.
Aaron Sippis has to punt on a 3-and-out for Auburn. And overran, fair catch taken around the 25-yard line by Jalen Waddle. And so that brings out maybe the Heisman frontrunner, Tua Tagovailoa, who has been sensational this year. Single season school record with 3 more touchdowns last week. He moved into that number 1 spot. We had a late flag on the punt.
Yeah, I think it's going to be taunting on the play.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 8 on the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Yeah, I saw the mix up there. I knew it was on Alabama. I thought it was going to be taunting. Called it unnecessary roughness. That's the way Josh plays, basically. He is a bundle of it. What did Nick say to him? He's like a demon.
A demon out there.
Yeah, jeez.
So they back it up around the 12-yard line to open things. Half the distance, 12.5-yard line, if you want to put it that way. Damian Harris in the backfield for Alabama with Tua. Making his first start in an Iron Bowl. And it is Harris straight up the middle. Good run to open things. Got it out across the 17-yard line as we take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineup for Alabama. You already saw the leader, number 13. And here's the group around Tua. Henry Ruggs coming off career high 6 catches a week ago. And that's just one of those 3 guys that Gary talked about in the open. Unbelievable group of wide receivers. On 2nd and 5. Tagovailoa wide open. Jerry Jeudy And Judy out to the 30-yard line with a first down.
You know, obviously this team is different because of the skill set of Tua Tagovailoa, but because of that, instead of having in the past one receiver like a Julio Jones or Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, it's really 4 or 5 of them. 5 different receivers averaging more than 18 yards.
And if you throw Irv Smith in there, who's the tight end. Damian Harris on the carry against an Auburn defense that comes in 10th in the country in scoring defense, led by 3-year starter, middle linebacker, and leading tackler Deshaun Davis.
And this is the team that has to help out their offense. They have 7 returning defensive starters from this game a year ago. We've been talking all year about the defensive line. Let's see what they do.
Here they come. Tua stands in, delivers a strike, and it is Irv Smith, and another first down, Alabama.
Because of the quarterback who can pull the trigger, the defense now says we don't have to stop one guy, we have to stop 5 different players. When Tua drops back, like I said, like Ness said I called the play last year, I ain't calling any plays this year. I don't know where that ball's going, I'll tell you. No idea.
First down at the 45, it's going to Damian Harris on a handoff this time. And Harris, his final appearance at Bryant-Denny Stadium, he's off to a good start, picked up almost 5 on that carry. Dontavius Russell made the tackle.
So the hope for Auburn is that they turned on that Mississippi State football game. You know, it didn't start out right, 21-0 for Mississippi State.
Right.
But then their defense kind of found their footing, and they started to make plays in the backfield. I think that's the challenge for that Auburn defensive line and their 2 linebackers. Can they create some negative plays? 2nd
and 5 right from midfield. Play fake, bootleg. Tagovailoa throws in and out of the hands of Ruggs. Nice coverage back there defensively by Jamel Dean. Might have been Javaris Davis.
I think it was Davis, number 13. Bootleg coming across. Question was, did he get on him just a little bit early? Nah, not close enough to make that call. I think that's good defense.
Yeah, good play. 3rd down percentage, you see, one of the best in the country. Alabama 3rd in the nation at 54 plus.
Remember, on 3rd down, Mississippi State brought extra people. What will Auburn do? 6.
Tagovailoa lofts it deep, just overshot Judy. And Alabama's going to have to give it up.
There's the game plan. Put pressure on Tua, make him throw it before he wants to. You get both linebackers coming, man-to-man. Tua feels the pressure, and he has to make a quick decision and an accurate pass. That time, defense won.
Auburn's got to feel good about that, even though they gave up a couple of first downs, a 13-yard and 11-yard completion. But Tua's last one off the mark. And so Mike Bernier will punt it away.
Anytime you get a stop against this Alabama offense, no field goal, no touchdown, you consider it success.
Absolutely. Wow, what a punt. Too far, I think. No, maybe not. It took a bounce backwards. Nice kick. Going to be around the 10-yard line, but I thought it was heading to the end zone.
Just soggy enough where that ball didn't put.
Just enough of a divot.
Yep. If those helicopters would have been out here another 10 minutes, that goes into the end zone.
From the Chick-fil-A pylon cam, ball coming right into your living room or wherever you might be watching. Auburn back on offense when we come back. Sports HQ, sports for the true fans. Gary will be along that after our game today. S. Malzahn 2-1 versus #1 Alabama as the head coach. His opening series for his offense was 3 and out, and Jarrett Stidham was 0 for 3, but he had 2 drop balls from the 12. And Christian Miller has got Whitlow all wrapped up.
If you're playing on the edge of the Alabama defense, your job is to set the edge. You have to take on your man, handle him one-on-one, and then make sure that running back doesn't get outside of you. That's your job, and Christian Miller did it beautifully.
And Tosh Lepore, the defensive coordinator, told us yesterday he used to just be an edge kind of rush guy. Now he knows how to set that edge.
So before he was a pass rush specialist.
Right. He got a yard. 2nd down and 9. Cam Martin in the backfield now with Jarrett Stidham. Taking a long time on the play. Finally, the snap. Straight up the middle on a run, and a good one for Cam Martin. He's close to a first down. He might have it.
Got the substituted defense that time. Also, no Quinnen Williams. When number 92 is not in the game, that is a run key for this Auburn offense.
And now first down run this time. Out to the 25.
Think about that, Ness. If you're looking at this Auburn offense and the trouble they've had running the ball this year, they're averaging 167 yards per game, the lowest of the Gus Malzahn era.
Yeah.
And usually you key safeties. You have to be a really good nose tackle when they start keying you as run-pass key. That's what Quinnen Williams is.
You saw 92 trot back out there, so he's on the defensive front. Shivers into the clear. He's got unbelievable speed. I don't know if they're going to get him. Shaun Shivers, touchdown. There is a flag down at the 25. If it's not against Auburn, it's a 75-yard touchdown, but it might be coming back.
I think that's Isaiah Buggs down too on the play.
Here's a call. It is holding. Auburn negates a 75-yard touchdown. Sal Cannella, a wide receiver out on the edge, trying to give his man an opportunity for a big play, did, but was caught holding.
Cannella right there holding on Moses.
He's got jersey. That's not a lot.
Yeah, but he didn't pull it. Unless there's something on the other side of that jersey. I did not see a tug. I saw his hand on there, but I did not see a pull. Let's see it from this side. Yeah, you saw it better from this side. That was the front of the jersey that got the tug, and that slowed Moses down as you see Isaiah Buggs going off the field.
He's one of their leaders, one of the seniors, their leading team in sacks. And hopefully he's going to be all right. Doesn't look too good right now, though.
After the play was over, a sportsmanlike conduct foul on the Auburn head coach for arguing the call on the field. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Well, it goes from a 75-yard touchdown to a 30 yards worth of penalties. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Gus Malzahn. We saw that earlier today on Urban Meyer in the Ohio State-Michigan game. And he's still hot. Here's another look at Isaiah Buggs.
Also on the backside right there. Let's see. It's a cut block away. Oh, you can see the knee go back. His heel was in the ground and his left knee buckled backwards.
So now it's 1st and 27 instead of 7-0 Auburn. Empty backfield for Stidham from the 8-yard line. Throw to the outside is dropped again. Whitlow, and that's 3 drops in the opening 5 minutes of the game.
Last year's game, Ness, I charted the first 15 plays. Auburn threw the ball 10 times. And in that first start of that game, Jarrett Stidham was 12 for 14. They had 9 first downs. So you can see they feel they can throw the ball. They're going to throw the ball short because of the pass rush. But come on, guys. This is high-level football. You got to catch those, especially against this Alabama team.
It's not Stidham's fault that he's 0 for 4 right now, that's for sure. He'll try it again. There's one that's caught, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, caught, almost conceded that time by the Alabama defense.
Ryan Davis made the catch. Pickup of maybe a half yard. This was Gus when the penalty was called. He was out on the field.
Yes, and that rule was instituted a year ago. That the coaches cannot come on the field and argue. You can call your team and ask questions, but you cannot argue.
3rd and 26. There aren't a lot of plays in the book for this particular situation.
The goal is no turnover here.
And with that, they keep it on the ground, and they'll be punting from right where Christian Miller made that tackle.
So the lack of discipline from the Auburn wide receivers. They've dropped 3 balls, and they've had a key holding penalty. 4 mental mistakes why the wideouts have cost this Auburn team. It cost them potentially a touchdown.
Right.
Now you could argue Moses might make that tackle, but there you are. Block them. Don't hold them. And now field position could cost them even more.
Because Waddle is right around the 50-yard line. Sippis to punt. He's going straight up with it here. Waddle has to. Oh, got fair catching a run over. And there's flags all over, and I hope he's not hurt because he was not looking. He was only looking at the ball. And Javaris Davis just leveled him. And that brings out the Boo Birds here at Bryant-Denny.
The respect for Waddle had the end-over-end kick.
You talk about not seeing one coming.
Well, I'll tell you, it's shocking right now, the lack of discipline that this Auburn football team is playing with early in this football game. Emotionally, I don't know if they're too up for this game or what, but they're not ready to play.
Taylor Waddle's going to run off on his own. That's good to see. Man, you get hit enough when you see him coming without something like this happening.
15. Penalty is forced from the spot of the foul. First down.
And he's fortunate that it wasn't even targeting. I mean, it was close.
So that's going to move the ball all the way to the 35-yard line where Alabama will start.
Got veteran players for Auburn not doing their job.
Then Auburn has and still not be behind on the scoreboard. Drop passes, a holding call that negated a 75-yard touchdown. And then this on Jalen Waddle.
And they're spreading it around. You know, 5 mistakes, 5 different players.
Still no score. And now it's first down at the 34-yard line.
And now it's dangerous time, though. When you get in this situation, you look for this Auburn Alabama team to go deep here.
Josh Jacobs in the backfield with Tua Tagovailoa. That's Ruggs in motion. Play action here might be the play that Gary said. Incomplete. Judy, the intended receiver. Jamel Dean was covering.
And Noah Igbenogany did a good job of staying with his receiver and staying in front of him. Judy's got the speed. He ran stride for stride. There's the matchup right there. Man to man. You got to run with him. You know what it is.
And Jamel Dean, who made a play on the ball there, is still down in the end zone after a diving attempt at an interception.
But that's good coverage. That's what you expect. You could feel it that Alabama was going to throw a deep one. And good coverage forced a perfect play, and the safety helped. That's how you play defense.
Jamel Dean, 2-year starter, and they're still attending to him in the end zone.
5 touchdown passes. He's broken Drew Brees' conference season record, 62-39 the score. It's the most points Michigan's ever allowed in regulation. Buckeyes going to be climbing the rankings, guys.
Wow, did the West Virginia-Oklahoma game break out up there in Columbus?
Yes. All the Big Ten and SEC people were saying, Big 12, you don't know how to play defense. Whoops.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be Josh Jacobs' time now, don't you think?
He's in there. Second down at 10. And Tua's going to come the other way out in the flat. Ruggs, and he broke a tackle. First down inside the 15.
Told you I couldn't call plays anymore against these guys. Used to be really easy. You do this thing for 12 years, you get a feel for their offense, and now forget it.
Different offense.
Different offense.
Ruggs picks up 20, so completions of 11, 13, and 20 for Tua Tagovailoa, and they're in the red zone where they've scored 42 touchdowns on 60 trips this year. From just inside the 14. Here's a little jet sweep to Henry Ruggs. And Ruggs got more out of that than I thought he would. Let's check in with Jamie.
Good news on the injury front for Alabama. You saw defensive end Isaiah Buggs go into the tent. He is good to return. Has a sleeve on that left knee now. Jalen Waddle came out, helmet in hand. He looks available to return to the offense.
All right, Jamie, thanks. And Jamel Dean, by the way, for Auburn, is back out there on the field after limping off earlier and defending that pass in the end zone. Second down at 6. Red zone touchdown defense. 29% is good. And Jacobs finally gets a call. He got about 3.
I think Georgia had about 9 plays inside the 10-yard line against this Auburn defense, and the Auburn defense stood him up. It was even a targeting penalty in the middle of it that kept it going. So these guys bow their necks down here, but it's going to be a big challenge here. This Alabama offense much better inside the red zone. That Georgia's been struggling in goal-to-goal situations.
Georgia didn't struggle today against Georgia Tech. That sets up our matchup next week in Atlanta. 3rd and 3 to run all the way for Tua Tagovailoa. First down and touchdown.
If you could feel everybody in the stadium holding their breath as Tua ran to the outside, but when you're running behind number 8 and big number 73, Jonah Williams, you feel pretty good about yourself, I'll tell you. You follow 73 and 8, you feel safe.
Tua's going to come right into the pylon can for the touchdown, his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Now, they didn't have to go far because of the penalty on the punt return. But they're on the board first. Bulovas' extra point is good. 6:38 remaining, first quarter. 34-yard drive in 5 plays. That was play number 5, and touchdown on the ground number 5 for Tua Tagovailoa. 7-0 Tide.
Sims and Jalen Hurts and Tua all have to thank RPO that Auburn used in 2013 for this new style of offense that Alabama runs.
Igbenogany from the goal line. He found a little crease up the middle. More on Tua. Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, he continues to impress in every facet of his game, Brad, especially on this touchdown run. He looks a little different to you today because he's not wearing that big knee brace that has labored him the last few weeks. Mike Loxley told us that he's as fresh as he's been. He really felt like that knee brace restricted him, and they can really get back to some of those power runs they were able to the first half of the season.
Yeah, when we saw him a couple weeks ago in a touchdown celebration, he did a chest bump with one of his teammates and then came down and grabbed the knee brace as if to say the brace was hurting him more than the knee was. So it's a good time to have him completely healthy. And not a lot of people are healthy at this time of the season. Nice run by Jatarvius Whitlow.
Yeah, Isaiah Buggs is back in the football game, number 49, at his normal spot, right defensive end.
And that's going to be a first down. So they're getting a little bit on the ground right now, and they need that.
Yeah, he's not doing well, though, and he's coming back out. He's giving it a try, but I don't think Buggs is going to be able to finish this thing out today. You know, ironically, the week before against Citadel, they were worried about the cut blocks on their defensive linemen, and that's what got him in this game, a cut block on the backside.
Auburn first down at the 39. Whitlow again, little delay, and then he just powers his way for about 7. Redshirt freshman out of Lafayette, Alabama, getting warmed up.
You know, we talked in the open about not having Kerryon Johnson, but also that Auburn offensive line was very young this year, replacing 4 seniors at the start of the year.
It's going to be just a little bit short. The first down, bringing up a 3rd down. Alabama, a 7-0 lead on a short drive that took only 34 yards in 2 minutes. Auburn's made a lot of mistakes. It had a 75-yard touchdown run called back because of a hold. And now at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, they've got a 3rd down and short, just on their side of midfield. That's Schwartz in motion. Whitlow, again, the hesitation, and then just picks his hole and picks up the first down.
Well, and this is great news. If you're an Auburn fan, with those drop balls, the question was, could we run against this defense? Now, in this drive, 5 straight runs, 25 yards, first downs. This is music to the ears of the Gus Malzahn offense.
Absolutely. And it would set up play action beautifully for number 8. If his receivers would hold on. Look at this formation.
Tackle way out here.
We got 2 tackles out.
Yep.
And the throw is out to Davis, and he's got a tackle in front of him to lead the way. Different looking formation, it worked.
Yeah, interesting talking to Nick. He said Gus Malzahn gives us so much, we cannot practice it all week.
From the 37, Stidham dropped by Raekwon Davis.
Was Jennings offside on the play? I thought Jennings, number 33, got a little bit of a head start on that one, but it was not called. He must have timed it out perfectly.
I think Jared thought he was offside too.
Yes, he looked at the referee like, what's that? Trying to go fast works sometimes, but when everybody's not on the same page, it produces negative plays, and that time it did.
It was actually Brian Ray that made that play, not Raekwon Davis. They were all in the vicinity. Quinnen Williams as well. Second down at 13. Stidham had it squatted down at the line of scrimmage, and that was Jennings.
Well, like you say, we've been talking about this since the halfway point in the season. Tua got all the press early, and deservedly so. But kind of like quietly, the Alabama defense reloaded.
Exactly.
They had to replace a lot of NFL talent, and, you know, not very surprisingly, they have.
Third down and long.
You have to go at the corners. Alabama plays man-to-man on the outside, and you must challenge the outside of this defense.
And that would be Savion Smith and Patrick Surtain. Third and long for Stidham. Stands in, goes over the middle to his short man. It's Whitlow in the open field. And Whitlow has got it down to the 14-yard line.
Well, the veteran play this time for Jarrett Stidham. He got decent pass blocking. He saw the late rush and dropped it off. That really says a lot for your quarterback in this football game. He's got all those drops, keeps his wits about him.
Big pass play of 23 yards, and now Whitlow back on the ground. And didn't get much, if anything, there.
I don't know if Alabama had too many players on the field that time.
Substitution infraction. Defense, 12 in the formation. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So we talk about the hurry up, and of course Gus brought this in. Substituted play. Alabama's bringing in players. You can see Nick trying to wave off one more guy. He knows it. He knows he's got too many, but doesn't get him out in time.
So they walk off 5, a free 5, down to the 9-yard line.
Oh, here goes Wildcat. Stidham's at the top of the screen.
That's Schwartz in motion. He's going to get the carry. Blocker in front is Cox, and Schwartz is in for the touchdown.
It was the running game, and then it was Gus being Gus. Gus ball is what you've seen right here. Give them different formations, run the ball just enough, and then the true freshman, the fastest guy in college football, Anthony Schwartz, gets the corner, and a beautiful block by Chandler Cox, the senior.
Anders Carlson in for the point after. And it's up and good. So that quieted the crowd at Bryant Denny. It fired up the Auburn coach. 73-yard drive in 10 plays. We're even at 7. Key play on that drive on a 3rd and 13. That 25-yard pass to Whitlow from Stidham. That kept the drive going. And then, as Gary said, Gus being Gus, a little trick play on the end around to Schwartz. And that's Schwartz's 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Yeah, and remember they had the 2 tackles out there, too, for the one play.
Yeah. Carlson's kick goes out of bounds. That's not good. Out to the 35 it will come.
Talking a little closer on that drive, the fastball offense also caught earlier Alabama with just 10 defenders on the field and then 12 later. So the hurry-up offense was effective in that drive. Very much Auburn football.
This is the key play in that drive as Stidham just goes right over to number 28, and there's nobody in the picture.
And that was a busted assignment by Mack Wilson that time. He thought he could get to the quarterback in time, and he could not.
And then here comes Schwartz right at you. Najee Harris in the lineup for the first time for Alabama. He'll get the call and dropped no gain. Tyrone Truesdell in on the stop. Gus Malzahn. If you go back to 72, Auburn wins over undefeated Alabama team 72-89, and then Gus in 13, and last year at Jordan-Hare. But they haven't beaten a top 5 team on the road in 11 years.
Picky. It's always something with these fans nowadays.
Second down and 10. Josh Jacobs in motion. Tagovailoa the throw, a short one to Devontae Smith up to the 40.
So here's the tape that I think Kevin Steele and Auburn saw was this Mississippi State success later with their 5- and 6-man blitzes put a little pressure on Tua. It's just clear as day. If you don't put pressure on him, you don't have a chance. Kevin Steele, defensive coordinator, just leaned out of the way. He's behind it. There he is.
And out is 3rd and 5. Will they bring a little extra heat? Nope. 3-man rush. Tagovailoa in trouble, though, does his spin move, and now runs back up the middle, trying to get to the first down. Got it, and then some. All the way to the 39-yard line. That knee looks pretty good.
Yep. And those fakes look pretty good, too. Marlon Davidson put pressure on him, but he evaded. And the scouting report on Tua is when he scrambles right up, straight. And it's exactly what he did there. If you're rushing Alabama, you have to do what they kind of call crush the can. You can't come around the edge. You got to crush that can and put pressure on them up the middle. And it's easy to say because I got to say, that works against every quarterback.
21-yard run to the 39. Jacobs in motion again. He looked that way and comes back to Najee Harris, who puts the brakes on and then got tripped up. That could have been a big play, but a nice job. Derek Brown stayed there along with Darrell Williams and tripped him up.
Yeah, one of those veteran linebackers. 7 of these defenders started in this game a year ago. Number 49, Darrell Williams, smart player, comes back, just trips him up with one of those shoe dust tackles. Beautiful play by Williams.
2nd down and 8. Might be the final play of the quarter. Tagovailoa, RPO goes out to Jacobs. Jacobs driving. Wow, trying to work to that first down marker, and he's really close. Thomas and Atkinson trying to keep him from moving the chains, and we got a flag down. Not sure if that was at the end of the play, I guess.
Was it face mask? Did he grab him on the tackle? We couldn't see it, a little far away for us.
Let us know, Hubert.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
There's another mistake by Auburn.
Wait a second, they were on the 30-yard line. So half the distance. Either way, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Exactly. There it is.
See, I thought the penalty happened on the 31-yard line. I thought that should have gone to the 16-yard line.
Picky.
Yes. Yeah. All right, that's fair. I did one to you.
That's a fair first quarter, too. Even first quarter. A lot of Auburn mistakes, but it didn't matter. They tied it up. End of 1, 7-7. We'll return to Tuscaloosa after this message. And a word from your local station. Just about set to start the second quarter here in Tuscaloosa. And we welcome you back, Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. Good first quarter, partner. I think take away Auburn's mistakes, they could be in front right now.
It was the emotions, I think. And to survive that and also be able to run the ball just a little bit. But remember, you got to score. You cannot let up. I mean, they got a good defense, but I think you're looking at least getting into the 30s to beat Alabama.
Alabama beats everybody by an average of 36, so you got to put points up. It's sort of like playing the New Orleans Saints or the LA Rams. If you don't score points, you got no shot. But they do have 7 on a nice drive the last time they had it. And now Alabama, first time not leading at the end of a first quarter. This is a rarefied air for the Tide right now. But they have it at the 14-yard line. Najee Harris in there with Tagovailoa. Tua's going to throw it out to Judy. And it's 1st and goal just inside the 5.
Here's what you have to live with if you're going to blitz coming around the corner. If you don't get him, you got man-to-man, and you're allowed to do those little screens and rubs. Tough to cover man-to-man.
1st and goal. Quick throw out to Ruggs. And he got there. Touchdown. Touchdown pass number 32 for Tua Tagovailoa.
And Smoke Monday got there, but just a half step late. Let's see if the knees were down before he crossed. Monday gets there. No, I don't think so. I think that's a touchdown. He laid out.
Pilano gave us a great look. He kept his balance just enough to do that.
He actually used Monday's body to stay above the grass. Ball just has to break the front part of the line. It doesn't have to cross. This isn't hockey. You don't have to go past the line. Just the front edge.
Mac Jones to hold. Bullavis extra points is up and just inside the right upright. So after a nice drive by Auburn, Alabama answers. 65-yard drive in 8 plays. And Ruggs stretching it out to make it 14-7 Alabama. So Ruggs gets his 9th receiving touchdown of the year.
So for all of the blogs and everything that people like to freeze their cameras, he's over in midair right there. He pierces the line. So if you got that shot, it's a touchdown. But a lot of people wait until he gets to the ground. So he looks short when he lands on the ground, but he's already crossed the plane in midair. That's a public service in case, you know.
I knew there was a reason for that.
Help out my guy Steve Shaw over there so he doesn't have another one of those in Birmingham head of officials, right?
Right. Phone rings there enough.
They got a receptionist now, free so much.
Most first half touchdown passes single season since '96. Tua's in the top group now. Here's a short kick. And I think he called a fair catch. He did. Shivers. So they'll bring it out to the 25. Monday on CBS. This is a one man you definitely want on your case. Michael Weatherly stars in Bull Monday at 10, 9 Central. Only CBS. So let's see if Auburn's got an answer to the Alabama touchdown drive. Total yardage 121 for Alabama. And Auburn works from the 25-yard line. Chandler Cox in there. He's the motion man out of the backfield. They throw it out to Davis with Chandler Cox in front of him, but nobody got a block. And it's a loss. Xavier McKinney made the play.
Well, Ryan Davis had a football game against these guys last year. 11 receptions against them. And he is basically a running back on the outside of the formation. They get the ball to him as many times as they can out there in space.
They caught 11 balls a year ago for 139 yards in this matchup at Jordan Hare. 2nd and 12. Stidham has time and now running out of it, and he's going to get rid of this one. Got some late pressure from Ryan Ray. Most receptions by quarterback wide receiver duo, Stidham to Davis. Boy, remember the days Pat Sullivan on his way to a Heisman Trophy to Terry Beasley. Talk about passing some big time names in Auburn history.
Historic names.
Yeah.
Terry Beasley was the Wes Welker of his day, right?
Exactly.
He could play in any era of professional football.
3rd down and 12. 4 wideouts for Stidham. Alabama thinking about bringing some extra pressure, and that's going to be 3rd and 17.
All start offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Mike Horton, the right guard.
Well, we have, Brad has talked about, Ness, that the trouble on 3rd down for this Auburn team in November. They're at just 25% coming into this game. But that's only half the story. It's been 3rd down and long. They've averaged over 7 yards on 3rd down, and this is what they've been looking at and why they have not been able to pick it up.
Christian Miller in the middle there for Alabama is going to back out of there. It's just a 3-man rush in 3rd and 17. Stidham flushed out of the pocket again. Raekwon Davis giving chase, and he's got to throw it to the Auburn sideline again. There was their guy there, and Seth Williams, but it's incomplete.
Well, you drop an 8, and you're nervous when you're in that pocket making a mistake at your own end of the field. put 5, 6 near the line of scrimmage and then bail out, and you got to throw it in between these linebackers. They might have had to throw, but he also was being flushed at the same time.
Yeah, Davis, a big fella with a push there as he got rid of it, and now it's Aaron Sippis into punt again inside his own 5. Jalen Waddle is back in there. And the rugby style kick, and Waddle will have a crack at this one from the 31. And goes down to the 31. Nice job by Jamal Dean.
Yeah, what a play. Jamal Dean, the transfer from Ohio State, been playing her a couple years and really coming on.
Alabama gets the stop they were looking for. Their offense will have it when we return. Georgia and Alabama obviously heading for a collision way back in July when we got together for the SEC meetings. Everybody said, how about if it was Alabama and Georgia and they were both undefeated? Well, they're not. But second championship meeting, the last one, Georgia ended at the 5-yard line on a tipped Aaron Murray pass. It's a 12th appearance by Alabama, most of any team. Georgia, the defending champions, wrapped up their regular season with a win over Georgia Tech today. So we will see you at Mercedes-Benz Stadium next week.
And I think Georgia's playing their best football of the year right now.
Boy, Jake Fromm had a big game. Had 4 touchdown passes, I think, today. Here's a guy that can sling it to a Tagovailoa, crossing route, got it to Damian Harris, put a move on and got a first down before he's tripped up by KJ Britt.
And you know what's encouraging if you're an Alabama fan, and he's not always just slinging it now. He's willing to take the easy throw and move the chains. I thought at the beginning of the year he was just going for the big play.
Yep.
I think now he's much more disciplined, taking advantage of his offensive line and running backs in the passing game.
First down from the 43. Damian Harris on the handle. Follows his blockers. Gets out around the 48 before he's mugged. A whole bunch of Tigers there and a whole bunch of Tide players trying to push him in the right direction. Williams and Igbenogany finally slowing down anyway.
I know the rest of the league will probably be happy to see Damian Harris finally leave. I won't. He's about as fun a guy to talk to as we've had in this league in a long time.
He is a classy young man. Here's a pump fake and the throw, and it's over Irv Smith's hand, incomplete.
Igbenogany again did a really good job of taking his man. When you're playing man-to-man, nothing trumps your guy.
Greg McElroy next on the hit list for Tua, another 35-yard pass, and he's going to be in there. He might make it all the way to number 2 spot before the day's over. We'll just have to wait and see.
Just incredible to think back. Just a year ago at this time, he didn't even play him.
Nope.
Okay, and how different he is, and how different Alabama is because of that. Jalen Hurts, great career here. And of course, all those transfer things will start being talked about Jalen soon.
Josh Jacobs, little delay trap, and Jacobs first down. Whoa.
There he is.
A big hit to Igbenogany. Hello.
He's very difficult not to give the ball early in the football game because he sets the tone. Now, personally, I think this is something college football has to look at. When the offensive player uses his head as a weapon, I don't know what the defender's supposed to do. It happened on Tua on the run, touchdown run. I really think the rules and the officials need to look at that for a safety reason.
Now the phone calls just started in Birmingham again.
Well, I didn't say call it there. It's not a penalty now. It's not a...
Ball start, offense, number 70, 5-yard penalty.
Alex Leatherwood, ball start.
Because of the way the running backs use their helmets, it forces the defensive backs to lower their helmets. You could say he's using his helmet. He did use his shoulder. We're all getting it, and that's a legal play. And I'm just talking about the whole breadth of college football, not just... I think one of the best players in football right there, Josh Jacobs, one of my favorite players.
Play fake to Harris. Tagovailoa going deep. Man out there. Waddle, and it's going to be a flag as he was being dragged down by Javaris Davis.
It's remarkable weapons that Alabama is featuring that you have to stop. 5 different receivers, a tight end and 4 receivers.
Defense, number 13, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Very clear call right there. 5 different receivers. Irv Smith and the 4 receivers are averaging over 18 yards of reception.
Tagovailoa took a hit, I think, after he let go of this ball, maybe from Derek Brown, or yeah, it was. So the penalty spots it at the 26-yard line. 7th Auburn penalty so far. Damian Harris bangs it down inside the 22.
It's a big stop for this Auburn defense. Can they just hold Alabama to a field goal here? You got to stay in touch. You got to stay and keep hope in the football game if you're the Auburn side of the field. Alabama knows. We put another one here, and you're going to start pointing fingers on the other side of the field.
Good point. Tagovailoa looks left, back to the right, and throws it in the dirt. Herb Smith was the closest guy.
Yeah, and Pierce Baker and Leatherwood that time were 10 yards downfield. They had screens going both directions that time. And of course, if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, it's not called. But they had double screen, and Pierce Baker goes, I was wide open on that one. Just to let you know, if they ever change any more rules, I was wide open.
Ross, the captain of the offense, gets back over the ball at the 22. 3rd and 6, blitz coming. Tagovailoa down the middle, first down to Ruggs at the 11. Well, they brought the heat that time.
Yeah, and Ross Piercebaker, who said he was open last play, is actually the guy that handles the safety blitz. Watch him. He's looking, faking, and picking up the blitz.
And now Tua throws out complete to Judy. And Judy's going to be roughed down by Jamian Sherwood. Nice job to stay with number 4.
One more shot of Pierce Ross doing a great job on this play. Safety blitz. Saves the quarterback and allows the first down throw.
Just another in the long line of really good centers that have played here at Alabama.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to the offensive line yet.
Made his way down from Cedar Falls, Iowa to play for the Tide in his final game at Bryant-Denny today. 2nd down and 10 at the 11. They can get a first down at the 1-yard line. Here comes the heat up the middle again. Tagovailoa lofts it to nobody, incomplete. But he did get rid of it.
A lot of times near the goal line, you have the tight end and the quarterback on a read route. He's called a cop, corner or post. And this time, Irv went to the post.
Offense number 13. Loss of down at the spot of the foul.
They're going to call grounding.
Second down.
Grounding on the throw.
So when you've got a read route and you're letting it go and your tight end goes to the post and you think it's an either or, he throws it to the corner and it's intentional grounding. That's a good call. If you're going to read those read routes like that, you better get it right or you're susceptible to have an intentional grounding call, especially when there's pressure on you.
Well, that backs the line of scrimmage to the 21. This is where Tua would say it's okay. We just have more room to throw.
Yeah, well, this is a must stop for this Auburn defense right here, especially with the kicking problems for Alabama.
They only bring 3. Tagovailoa, but still that 3's going to get there. He gets away, throws late, and it's incomplete, isn't it? Or did he catch it?
Called it a catch, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's still going to be 4th down anyway.
Yeah, but a lot closer. The getaway, as you thought it was a sack, we thought maybe it was a sack too because of the outside, but this makes it a much easier field goal.
Let's take a look one more time.
Yeah, I thought Derek Brown had him back there.
I don't know if that's a catch or not. But
well, I can't get any closer look, but they should look at it because it's a big difference in the field goal.
And Bulovas is out there.
And I think this is a good stoppage. Let's make sure on this. If you're the replay official, I want as many looks as I can right here.
Previous play is under further review.
Gerald Hodges, who was in the booth here for the game, is our replay official. If it's a catch, it's a heck of a catch. And if it's not, it's a heck of a attempted catch. There we go.
All right, there you go. He gets one hand underneath it. Boy, that might have hit the ground. Now, it was called to catch.
Right.
It looks like the back half of the ball touches the ground to me, and then he cradles it as he turns. Depends how aggressive this replay official is here, because it's called a catch. He could say, I don't have enough to overturn it, or I've seen enough.
So they're talking it over. It would be about a 30-yard field goal attempt if the catch is confirmed. or unable to overturn it anyway. And it would make it easier for number 97, who you saw his numbers. Joseph Bulovas, 11 out of 15 on the year.
I don't think it's definitive, but you could say I think he landed on it and pulled it in afterwards. It's a holiday season. What would you do, Ness, if you were in the replay booth?
Well, when I called it live, I didn't think he caught it.
I'll tell you what, I saw Ness go after a turkey leg just that aggressively. And it was his. They called it a catch, too.
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a completed catch. 4th down.
So it's a catch.
It was definitely gray area.
See if Joseph Bulovas can hit the field goal, which will be a 30-yard attempt.
And remember, the word stands means they're not confirming. They're just saying there's nothing there to change the call.
Yep. From the right hash mark, Mac Jones, the third-string quarterback, to hold. Bulovas from 30. Right down the middle. 3 more for the Tide. Alabama gets a stop, but they're still down 10.
They started out with 5 straight runs, and then that opened up the offense to go Gus ball. Kept them off balance with the 2 tackles, a little gimmick, and then they went wildcat, and the speed caught Alabama a little flat-footed. So that's really the formula. Can Auburn find the formula, I think, to keep Alabama off balance?
It would be huge if they could answer that field goal with some points of their own right here. Trailing by 10. Bulovas, who just hit the field goal, set to kick away. Igbenogany and Shivers await back at the 5-yard line for the Tigers. And they'll get a shot at it if they want one. Fair catch was called for, so they're bringing it out to the 25. Let's test your knowledge with today's Aflac trivia question, which Alabama quarterback has the best Heisman Trophy finish? A lot of people think that young man right there might be the front runner, but who had the best finish? I know what's running through your mind. There's guys in the Hall of Fame. You go back, you know,
right?
Might not be those guys.
Probably not, right? Probably not, or we wouldn't be asking. That's the
whole
clue.
trick of testing your knowledge. Stidham under center. Ryan Davis in motion on first down. Play fake. Wow, he had to get rid of that way before he wanted to. Nobody over there except Shanker, I guess, the tight end. Xavier McKinney was coming in to give Stidham the heat.
Boy, you think you're going to play that would work, and you call a play and say, oh, wait a second, they're bringing their strong safety on first down. I did not think that would happen, but you can see Alabama's defense has gotten more aggressive, anticipating more of the gimmicks from the Auburn offense.
See if they go back to Whitlow, who's done a pretty good job on the ground today. Again, Davis will go in motion over to the slot on the right side. Whitlow gets the carry. Got about 3.
You know who's been quiet so far in this game is Q Williams. You know, I mean, when we talked to Gus Malzahn about moving the ball against Alabama, he started the conversation with number 92 and ended the conversation with number 92.
He even ended it with Jamie today before the game in the interview with 92. He's been a disruptive force. There's no doubt about that. 3rd down and 7.
And Bugs is back out there. That's good news for Alabama.
They bring an extra man in Mac Wilson, and down goes Stidham. And a flag.
You're trying to get that quarterback, and did you get a hold of the face mask when you were trying to get the sack?
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 92, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, now we got number 92 called for a reason he doesn't want to be called.
He makes an inside move, gets inside, and reaches out right at the end of it and grabs the face mask. Good call. Left hand on the face mask.
Didn't need to and didn't intend to.
I don't think he was trying to, but Mac Wilson spun him around and the face mask appeared.
So take away a sack and pick up a first down.
And this is the help you're going to need if you're Auburn. You got to find some way to kill the clock, make some first downs. That's how the successful drive started. A couple first downs and then open it up with the fastball. Gus can't go fast and get a 3 and out. It just gives the ball to Tua. A couple first downs and he will.
Now they've got it ready for play at the 43. It's Schwartz on the end around. This time, Sivian Smith runs him out of bounds after a short gain.
Well, Anthony Schwartz, the true freshman sprinter, has been getting involved. Brad told you about his carries. He came into this game with 20 rush attempts, along of 23. He's gotten already, what, 3 times in this game?
Yeah.
And running the ball. He's always a threat with that jet sweep.
Quinnen Williams coming out again. Cam Martin in the backfield with Stidham on 2nd down and 7. He looks over, you see those cards, the plays changed. Better hurry. Just got it off, and the ball, he lost the ball. I think he wanted to throw a screen out in the flat, and I don't know if it just took off from him or stuck to his hand or what.
I think it was McKinney again, coming from the outside the slot, number 15. Yes, when he tried to throw the ball, McKinney was in the way and he had to try to eat it. It was the old tuck rule.
So 3rd down and 7. Ryan Davis in motion again. Stidham with Mack Wilson coming at him. Throws too wide, intended for Slayton, incomplete.
You could feel the pressure if you're the quarterback right up the middle. Q Williams puts Caleb Kim right on his back. You can feel him climbing your legs. He does not quite step in the throw, and it sails on him. You see Q Williams right there. We didn't mention his name until this series, and all of a sudden he's a part of everything in this series. 3
straight plays. Shepis, low snap, punt, high end over end kick. And they just let it go. It's going to be around the 15 or 16 yard line. So Alabama has got it back. Mack Wilson and the defense for the Tide does its job again. And it was who had the highest finish of any Alabama quarterback. A.J. McCarron in 2013. Yep. Tua having a good time out there. His mom and dad looking on from the stands. You wonder what his numbers would be like if he played in 4th quarters this year. Josh Jacobs going to be dropped for a loss. And Deshaun Davis on another tackle, over 250 career tackles for him.
I don't think Kevin Steele and Auburn can be upset with their defense. They're keeping the throws in front of him. You know, Tua's what he's got, just over 100 yards throwing the ball. He's 13 for 18 for 108. You know, nothing big has happened.
Got that one out to Judy short of the 1st down.
Not a lot of missed tackles. I mean, you know, you can't do much better with an offense than this.
You just got to hope that your offense helps you out a little bit. As we approach the 6-minute mark, 3rd down coming up for Alabama again, 3rd and 3. Can they get one more stop and give it back to that offense of the Tigers before halftime?
Front 4 has to dominate here in these situations.
It almost looked like they were offside to give Jacobs, and they got a stop. He's a yard shy.
Miller, number 8, one of the rotated players in there, comes off the block and makes the tackle. Takes on Deontay Brown, stays alive, and makes the play.
They did their job again.
Yeah. Deontay Brown has been knocking people into the secondary, but that time Miller does a nice job.
Bernier to punt. Ryan Davis back for Auburn around the 35 on the other end. And Auburn will have 5 minutes to play with here. They block the kick. Auburn's got it on a block punt. think it was Smoke Monday, maybe. At any rate, there's the big play they needed.
Yeah, if you're going to beat Alabama, you've got to beat them a little bit in every area. You just can't beat them on defense or offense. You got to win special teams. And this time, wide open, just turned over Smoke Monday. Going against that three-man protector, they opened up a hole for him to run right in there.
He smoked him.
He did.
Now can Auburn take advantage at the 23?
Sugar huddle. They'll break fast and snap it fast.
Empty backfield. And again, Stidham wanted to go out in the flat. He lobs it out there to Schwartz, who got leveled. Offensive lineman Wanogo got out there and caught it. But again, the play was blown up. They thought they had something working on the outside.
Oh, what a tackle that time by Smith. And Wanogo was standing out there because he's not eligible. He couldn't do anything.
He was just supposed to be a blocker.
Exactly.
Nice catch, though.
It was. Tago Wanogo says, I'm out here and I'm open, but I'm not eligible. So throw it to somebody else.
Second down and 10. Chandler Cox.
Double pass.
Ryan Davis loads, fires, man's there, got him. Auburn touchdown, Malik Miller. Second time a trick play is paid off for the Tigers for a touchdown.
Ryan Davis had a touchdown pass against Texas A&M. He was a high school quarterback. They lined him up real deep, quick snapped it to him. You could see it in the pre-snap that he was very deep to ensure the lateral right here. Gets it and throw the whole playbook at Alabama. Use every guy you got, every skill he's got.
Extra point is good.
Well, Gus had the jump pass last year.
Yep.
And now the throwback wide receiver pass this year.
How about Ryan Davis's numbers this year? 2 for 2 passing, 43 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that one, 17-14 tie. And they make it a 3-point game, 17-14. Alabama will get the ball back.
Kicking game in this game has always been part of it, right?
No kidding. And this one will bring Alabama's offense out to the 25. Some big plays in that last sequence. First of all, you got to get a stop to force a punt, and there it was by the Auburn defense.
Yeah, that was the interesting one. They took the ball out of Tua's hands, but it was stopped, and then Smoke Monday, not very good protection with the 3-man front, and then of course Gus is Gus. I'm going to give you the whole play package. If I'm going to move the ball, you're going to have to defend everybody and everybody's skill that he has. And one of the skills Ryan Davis has, he can throw. High school quarterback.
Yep. I mentioned 2 for 2 for 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
His quarterback rating will be as good as Tua's pretty soon. 4-minute mark from the 25. Speaking of which, Tua Tagovailoa with plenty of time, deep, and overshot his intended receiver, Henry Ruggs. Jamel Dean was covering.
Well, I like what Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator, is doing here. They're not getting really complicated in their coverage. They're making sure everybody's got a man, okay? If they beat us, let's make them beat us because they ran a good route and a good throw, not because we didn't know who to cover.
Right.
And in this game so far, Auburn has picked out the right guys, and they've gone man-to-man and said, go ahead, Tua. If you can complete it, do it. But we ain't going to give you any, at least so far.
Najee Harris behind Tua Tagovailoa, gets a carry and only got about a yard. That's it. Kevin Steele knows all about this rivalry from whatever direction you want to look. Defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator at Alabama, and now the defensive coordinator for the Auburn Tigers. So he's got a good record in both cases, or he's got a record in both cases, I should say.
Got their fast pass rushers in. T.J. Moultrie's in at the bottom, number 55 right here, coming off the edge.
Again, they look like they're offside. Just got their hand back again. 3rd down and 9. Here they come. Tagovailoa gets away, and he's going to run or try to get there. And won't.
No, he's not. He's short.
Yard short.
Bringing extra players, 3rd and long. They're just conceding. that he's too good to let stand in the pocket. Good pass rush by Moulton that time. Number 55 flushes him. Igbenogany runs him down, and a little bit too close, but not a first down. Did he get his face mask?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
They
did.
didn't call it, though.
Nope.
So it's a punting situation.
Noah's looking around. I know I got the face. Holy cow, there's not a flag
I
on
don't
it.
see any longer.
Nothing, yes.
Wow, they got close to that kick again. Ryan Davis backpedals to the 18. And he's going to go down around the 20.
Yeah, he's on his own. They went for the block again. I think that's happened before in this series, right? Two
Yes.
blocks.
2.5 minutes coming. And then the Geico halftime reports. Looking the guys with the other scores and highlights from a busy day on rivalry weekend around college football. They'll look back at the first half of this one, which has been a good one. The 83rd Iron Bowl. 3-point game right now, and Auburn's got it back.
It's all the little things, you know, the intentional grounding that Tua got him out of position, didn't finish off that drive, and then don't make a third down conversion, get a punt block.
And now the quick pitch to Whitlow. And Whitlow blasts his way for 8 yards. Dylan Moses brings him down. Whitlow's a load when he gets out there and gets ahead of steam. Redshirt freshman, 216-pounder.
Yeah, goal number 1 now for Auburn, though, and all LSU fans will second this. Get out of the half. Do not make an opportunity. Remember, Alabama gets the ball to start the second half. Do not give them 2 tries here. Couple first downs and then think about scoring.
Again, a different looking formation with Davis way back almost as a member of the backfield. But it's Whitlow straight ahead, and he's got the first down. Shaheem Carter, one of the guys in on the hit, along with LeBron Ray. It is a first down.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts, and both teams, I think, I know Auburn would love to get to the halftime 17-14.
They would have taken that if you gave them that offer at the beginning of the game.
Exactly, but the way the game was ongoing, they were really struggling there. And then they got that play, that intentional grounding, and turned it around, and all went from there.
There's a little sugar huddle again. Hand off to Shivers. He's collared by Raekwon Davis, the big guy.
Isaiah Buggs went to the locker room. He's tried it, I think, 3 different times. He came out, tried it, and then left the field. Both coaches holding their cards. Timeout's close to the vest. Neither one wants to use it.
Jamie just told us that Buggs went through 3 different knee braces trying to get right. Quinnen Williams comes out.
Tua's got one he could try on if he wants to.
2nd and 8. 45 seconds left in the half. They'll keep it on the ground. Whitlow, Raekwon Davis again on the stop.
Anybody going to call timeout?
Maybe both teams are going to be happy enough to go to the locker
It's
room.
3rd down. You know, Alabama could block a punt here. No.
Clock running.
Going to play it safe. I don't know why Auburn would snap it. Nope. Nick, they were talking to Nick. You want a timeout? You want a timeout? He said no.
Let it go, I think is what he said.
And I don't think Auburn will snap the ball.
So interesting to see 2 old rivals both willing to just say, let's head to the locker room and we'll think this over and we'll play 2 more quarters.
I think it would have been different if Alabama wasn't getting the ball back. But Nick says, I'm getting it back at the end of the half. Why should I force it here?
Good game through 2 quarters at Bryant-Denny. Alabama with the lead, 17-14, trying to win their 26th straight game on this home field. And Coach Saban is with Jamie.
Coach, how was the way Auburn ran their offense towards the end of the half disoriented your defense's read of things?
Well, it was a double pass, and, you know, we didn't cover the guy that ran a double pass. So I kind of knew it was coming because the guy lined up deep in the backfield. But get a punt block, give them good field position. You know, that's kind of plays in games like this that make a huge difference.
Anything in particular offensively that you could really connect on more in the second half?
Well, we're not making explosive plays. They're doing a good job of taking those away. We got to be patient. We got to be able to create some balance, but we're going to have to throw the ball better than we did in the first half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
That's the end of the first half as the Tide heads into their locker room. They've got the lead, but it's a very slim one, 17-14. Top-ranked Alabama leading Auburn as we head to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studios. Zuck.
All right, Ness, we got ourselves
Seconds or so of that second quarter, kind of looked at their respective coaches and thought, we're going to call timeout? Nope, let's just go to the locker room. So they had time to regroup or prepare for the second half, and it is underway. And their catch taken 4. Bring it out to the 25-yard line. Welcome back, Brad and Gary. You know, I think back to what Jeremy Pruitt told us last week, former defensive coordinator here, now the head coach at Tennessee. So I don't care how much Alabama's favored by, this is going to be a heck of a game. Auburn will give them everything they want, and they have.
They have, and the key part was just before the block punt. There was 6 minutes. Alabama gets the ball. They stop them on third down. You could almost see it. 17-7. Alabama's going to drain the half, get the ball back, and kind of run away. And Auburn stops them, blocks the punt, football game. That was the key part of the first half.
So here's the Alabama offense that averages 49 points a game, going to work for the first time, and maybe a 1-yard gain on the first snap as we check in with Jamie.
Brad, I tell you, Gus Malzahn still heated about that holding call that brought the touchdown back in the first quarter. He said, you just don't call that in the Iron Bowl. After those speed bumps early, he said he feels like they settled it and played the right way. I asked him, how many other trick plays are we expect to see, Coach? He said, well, about 3 or 4, so start your tally now.
Well, the ones they tried in the first half worked to perfection. Second down and 9, play action. Tagovailoa throws complete. Irv Smith short of the first down by a yard or 2. Darrell Williams made the tackle. First half trends, 5th time this season Tua has had a rushing and passing touchdown. This is kind of strange. Wide receivers have a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown, but no touchdown catches for the Tigers. And those are season lows in the first half for Alabama.
Every part of this offense, this defense for Auburn is doing their job right now. Stopping the run, the linebackers are cleaning it up, and the man coverage solid.
Josh Jacobs, little delay, follows his blockers, cuts it out for a big gain across the 45.
Auburn is making Alabama earn every yard. They're going to run it. They're going to make first downs, run right at Jonah Williams. Good block on the edge, but not the huge play. Line up. They're good, too. They made a good play. Auburn, just keep your wits about you. Try to find a negative play.
That's what Nick said to Jamie going in the locker room. We're not getting explosive plays. They're looking for one here. They got the pass to Irv Smith, and he'll be brought down after a pickup of about 8. Javaris Davis held his ground out there to make the tackle.
So if you're Alabama, you got to look at it the other side of the coin. This is a solid defense. 5 or 6 NFL players there. They're tackling in space very well. How patient can we be? Let's make first downs and take what they give us.
Already in Tiger territory. Here comes a blitz. Tagovailoa going long. Judy's got it. Touchdown. There's the explosive play.
You never know. Anywhere on the field, nothing is safe. Bottom of the screen right here. There's the matchup. That's been the matchup all day. Auburn's been willing to play man coverage, and Judy, with a perfect throw, puts it into the end zone. Can't throw it any better than that. Guy's open by a yard, and he put it right in stride.
Extra point is good.
That's what you get thinking about. How explosive Alabama is, and you say that is there any time, and that's the worry. We can play man coverage, but if they throw it perfect, that can happen.
That was perfect. Second touchdown toss of the day for Tagovailoa. 24-14 tie.
Damian Harris right there, number 34, has man-to-man take the linebacker. And watch what he does. Good blocking up front, but he stones the blitz. That allows Tua to step into the throw, and put it on the money. You put it in that face, you get that linebacker closer to you, you might not be as accurate. You want to do something smart, it's not just running the ball, it's take on those linebackers to throw the ball.
Smart to throw it to that guy, too. That's his 11th touchdown catch.
That's a given. You got it. And that's the challenge for Auburn's defense. You know, you fight your butt off, and then they just go over the top of you.
Yep. Well, this week, Colbert is all new with Jon Stewart, Garth Brooks, and Michelle Obama. Plus Monday, catch Cartoon Steven. All this week on CBS. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, and our CBS crew. 24-14. Jerry Jeudy, one of the most prolific pass catchers now in Alabama history. Amari Cooper at 16. He's got 11. Amari's doing okay now for the Cowboys as well.
Yes, he is.
Play action. Stidham throws on the run across the middle high, but could have been caught, I think, by Darius Slayton. Incomplete.
Yeah, Slayton is one of those guys this year that has never really gotten off to get the type of deep threat he was a year ago. Last year he averaged 22 yards of reception. This year he's down to about 15, and it seems to be that's been the story all year. Inches away and a few drop balls when they're there.
Jarrett Stidham having a tough day. Remember, he had a lot of drop passes early in the first quarter. Whitlow maybe got 2. Dylan Moses in on the tackle. Dylan made the finalist list for the Butkus Award. Should be handed out in a week and a half or so.
I think Nick went in at halftime and said, we're okay. Citadel had us 10-10.
Yeah.
17-14 feels good for us.
There's Jarrett Stidham, only 5 of 16. And Tua Tagovailoa being Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes, he is.
3rd down and 8. Some shifting on that defensive front for Alabama. Now they settle in. And here they come, including Mack Wilson. Stidham crossing route to Schwartz, but it's short of the first down.
And Alabama brought 6 rushers that time, picked up beautifully, but you complete the ball short of the first down. If you're going to throw the ball and pick it up and keep it clean like that, you would love your receiver to just take it down there another yard for a first down. Now, you know, that's what you have. You run those true freshman players, they make little mistakes that end up costing you.
Another freshman awaiting this punt, Jalen Waddle. Fair catch. And gets this one cleanly without getting hit at the 31-yard line. 11:23 to go, 3rd quarter. Alabama with the ball and a 10-point lead when we come back. Nighttime setting in Tuscaloosa. Our aerial coverage sponsored by State Farm. Here to help life go right. We've had hot days, we've had cold days. This is a perfect day for football for us. We're usually complaining that it's too hot or too cold in the booth. I'm just about right today. And Tua Tagovailoa, look at the group that he continues to move up on. Impressive numbers for a guy that didn't start last year and came in the second half of the national championship game against Georgia and has flourished ever since that touchdown pass in overtime. On the RPO, the quick throw out complete. Let's check in with Jamie.
He's got impressive numbers tonight, and he's an impressive athlete. Tua told us that he's completely right-hand dominant. He writes with his right hand, kicks a soccer ball right-handed. He bat right-handed when he played baseball, but he said the sport was too boring for him. Even until the age of 4, he threw this football with his right hand until his dad said, no, son, you're going to throw left-handed. And thus, Tua Tagovailoa, the left-handed Heisman candidate, was born as a quarterback.
I'm really glad you caught that.
Me too.
That was impressive.
It was Jacobs' middle screen out to the 50.
Since Auburn dropped the first 4 passes, Jamie's doing pretty well.
She could have been their leading receiver in the first quarter.
Again, if you don't put pressure on Tua, he's going to just pick you apart. Throwing to the running backs, tight ends, wide receivers. He's proved he's patient, proved he can throw deep. You got to be able to put some pressure on him and up the middle.
Remember, he's thrown 1 pass in the 4th quarter this year, and it was a completion. And as I mentioned earlier, what would his numbers be if he had to play entire games? That's got to be a face mask somewhere in there. Najee Harris head turned completely around, or his helmet did. And then he's straightening out the headgear. Dontavius Russell. That moves it down to the 33-yard line.
So this Auburn defense or football team gets into that danger zone again. It was right there at the end of the half. It was 17-7. They made the plays to get it and keep it alive. Now they're going to have to make another play here, or they're going to lose hope.
5 minutes into the third quarter. First down at the 33 for Alabama. Low snap. Tagovailoa play action. Deep down the middle. Got it. Jacobs. Josh Jacobs. Gone. Touchdown, Alabama.
And he handled the low snap. He had to take his eyes off the defense to pick the ball up. And yes, that's what it's like when you got a quarterback like this. Jacobs right there in the backfield, comes out, doesn't run an option route. He just goes straight down the field. The two defenders are standing there waiting him to go right or left. He goes long.
How about how he located that? Had his head one way, turned it all the way around.
I'm telling you, he's a great football player. Lightly recruited out of Oklahoma. They found him late, and they found a gem.
Did they ever? 9:49 remaining third quarter, and all of a sudden, top-ranked Alabama starting to look like top-ranked Alabama. Third scoring toss of the day for number 13. Second scoring reception on the other end for number 8. 31-14 tied. Future by donating $1,000 to Auburn and Alabama's General Scholarship Fund. Alabama has had 9 plays in this early part of the third quarter that have totaled 144 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and at halftime, Auburn goes in there and says, okay, we're doing exactly the plan. Just keep the guy in front of you, make the tackle, make him go the long way, and all of a sudden, the excellence at quarterback puts 2 passes right in stride to break the defense.
This kick will be returned from the 1. Igbenogany stumbled a little bit. Ooh, really got stood up at the 21-yard line by Xavier McKinney. Igbenogany has not gotten up yet, I don't think, after that collision.
He got slowed down, and then once you lose your momentum, you're standing there and we're sitting duck on the play.
Now he's okay, trotting off.
Igbenogany was a wide receiver a year ago, switched over to defense and becomes the starting corner for this defense.
Auburn's got to have some offense starting right now. Whitlow ran right up the back of Caleb Kim as center. That couldn't have felt that great.
And they also, I mean, you're looking at this, what Alabama's done to you so far in the second half. You go, we also got to have a couple first downs. Our defense gassed out here. It's hard to go fast. Now, Auburn loves to go fast, and they may be their best at it. But how do you go fast until you get a first down?
Now the shifting going on again. Tight end moves. Slayton moves Davis to the top of the screen. And Stidham to throw. It has plenty of time. Airing it long. Tipped, and incomplete. Darius Slayton just couldn't quite find the handle. Shaheem Carter and Deontay Thompson also down there trying to grab it.
Got out just a little out of the range for Jarrett Stidham's pass. Tipped by Carter first. Tried to tip it back to himself. Slayton did, but Carter stayed with it and pushed Slayton out of the way. Good job of concentrating and finishing the play by Shaheem Carter right there.
And now it's third down and 6.
Yeah, and here's the problem. A 3-and-out here puts your defense out there and they're gassed.
Can they get the first down? A crossing route again, but Davis is short again, and he is leveled, and I hope he's okay.
Now remember, if this is called targeting, it will be out of the first half of the SEC championship game.
The good news is
first to help for the receiver.
Right, the Ryan is moving his extremities.
15-yard play out of that first down. The previous play is under further review.
No matter how much you emphasize it, the players still ducks his head. Maiden this time number 21 ducks his head exactly. You know, talk all the ones that are, you know, hairline. We all could talk about those. This is not hairline.
No. Ryan Davis again, the career leader in catches for Auburn.
And Savion Smith right away knew that Davis was hurt and started holding him and actually pointing him to the doctors to come out there. He could feel the hit and saw, probably looking in his eyes.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 21 is disqualified.
But Jared Maiden, is gone for this game and the first half of next week's matchup with Georgia.
Yeah, he's basically been their dime safety coming into the game.
And the concern now is obviously with Ryan Davis, who's been such a big part of this Auburn team, a senior out of St. Petersburg, Florida, one of the captains, threw a touchdown pass earlier today. And his teammates around him as we'll take a break. All of Ryan Davis' offensive teammates were on a knee surrounding him, holding hands, and now they just have seen him get up. And everybody here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, I think, reflects what those ladies in the crowd were thinking. Thank goodness.
It's a shocking play for everybody on the field and obviously in the stands. But Savion Smith, by the way, saw that right away. And boy.
He was the one that just hugged him, too.
He did.
Yep. So Ryan's day will be done. He's been a great player for him. Oof.
Well, that's a win.
Yep. No kidding. Meanwhile, it's going to be a first down after the targeting foul moves it to the 44-yard line for the Tigers. Eli Stove is going to take Ryan's spot in the receiving corps, at least for this play. And they can't snap it. Center judge won't let him snap it until they get Ryan almost to the tunnel. And he gets a big round of applause from the Alabama fans, too. That's nice. Here we go. Schwartz, they fake it to him, give it to Whitlow, trying to cut outside. Three Tide players waiting for him. If he got anything, he might have gotten a half a yard. Jennings and Wilson make the hit. They didn't buy any of that misdirection, did they?
Just looking a little closer with Savion Smith and Ryan Davis. Smith is from Tampa and Davis from St. Pete. I bet they competed against each other and know each other very well. The great concern by an opponent there.
Stidham, quick throw to midfield, is in and out of the hands of Slayton. And again, that's the second time Darius Slayton just can't quite hold on to one of those.
Yeah, the receivers for Auburn have not helped out this offense at all. Seth Williams, Auburn was depending, number 18, the other true freshman who dropped the opening ball right here out of Tuscaloosa. The true freshman has been a non-factor in this game, and he's been one of their weapons second half of the season.
When Maiden was kicked out of the game, Keaton Anderson, who was one of our scholar athletes, is in there at that dime safety spot that Gary was talking about. Third down and 9. Throw is complete, and Slayton on a knee to make the catch. And there's a flag down in the backfield. Might have been roughing on Stidham.
Yep. Well, nobody covered Slayton that time. A little closer throw because Alabama busted on the play. A little bit farther, and it's a touchdown.
The passer was targeting.
Shaheem Carter with the late hit.
15-yard penalty. The previous play is under further review.
Well, that could be another player. Remember, these carry over to the next game. And that was a total bust by Alabama. It should have been a touchdown, and I think Coach Saban saw the bust. No one covers Slayton at all on the play, and then they get a targeting.
Well, he had his hands in front of him.
That's close.
That would be a huge loss for next week if that guy can't start. He's one of their leaders in the back end.
Yeah, Boy, this is really close.
Sure is.
After review, the ruling is that number 5 did not commit a targeting foul. However, we will enforce the roughing the passer foul, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Gary, I think just the fact that he tried to get his hands in front of him helped the cause a little bit for him. It's 30 yards worth of penalties in 3 plays, but nonetheless, he's not going to leave the game.
And he's fortunate because he could have put himself in position. I do not think his helmet connected with Jarrett Stidham. It was close, but I don't think he hit him with his helmet.
Each team with 7 penalties. And for Auburn, it's been a couple of tough ones to take, but they've moved the ball 30 yards, courtesy of Alabama on this drive alone.
And they're lucky it wasn't a touchdown because they busted.
Here comes a blitz off the corner. The throw is that way. It's complete. But a good job by Raekwon Davis to stay with Eli Stover. He might have been off to the races.
Well, if Raekwon Davis doesn't come out and make that play, it's a touchdown. Right now, this Alabama secondary is discombobulated. Right until the snap of the ball, the whole Alabama bench was waving players around on the field, and they left another player wide open receiver on the play.
2nd down and 6. They're at the 25 of Alabama. Trying to tighten this game up here halfway through the 3rd quarter. Stidham on the run. The throw is low, but it is incomplete.
It's one of those times when you're calling defenses and you're struggling and kind of out of sorts. You just go, give me cover 1. The one we put in the first day, okay? Everybody call it a guy like playground, okay? And make sure we know what we're doing. Let's not get fancy here at all.
I got him, you got him.
You got it.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy, no combos here until we get back to the bench and understand what we're doing.
Be interesting to see if this is 2-down territory. 3rd and 6. They need to get to the 19. Schwartz again on the move into the slot. Here comes Jennings. Stidham releases it out to Whitlow. Can he get enough for the first down? No. Again from behind, tripped up by Jennings.
And it looked like he had the corner and he was going to make the first down. Alabama played a 1 coverage. They call it a rat coverage. They put a safety in the middle of the field. They forced everything inside, and it was Jennings with a top of the shoe right hand getting the tackle.
And now it's Wildcat. They look like they're going to bring out the field goal unit. Instead, it's Malik Willis on 4th down and 4, pulling out all the stops, whatever they can do. Willis floats it out, complete to the kicker, but he's not gonna get it. Surtain with a tackle on Carlson, and the crowd is going bonkers.
You really can't blame Auburn for trying something. You're looking for any play to even out this game right now. You get it complete, that's the good news. The bad news is it's your punter.
And a form tackle by the freshman to prevent a first down.
Yeah, when your kicker is not going to win that battle.
Not against one of the best young defensive corners in football. Alabama takes over on downs, leading 31-14.
At this point, Gus Malzahn says field goals aren't going to help us. His decision was 31-17, which is just 14 points, isn't good enough the way they're scoring.
Josh Jacobs on the little toss by Tagovailoa. Got 2 or 3 before a whole host of white jerseys are there to beat him. As we're going to work our way under the 6-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Now Jacobs out as a wide receiver to the top of your screen. Damian Harris in the backfield. And Jacobs on the move again. They fake it to him and give it to Harris. And Damian got out across the 25.
And KJ Britt was in for Deshaun Davis, who limped out after the last play, their leading tackler, and Britt makes the play on that one.
Well, if Auburn ever needed a stop, right here would be good.
Well, especially after you passed up the field goal, you know, to make it a 14-point game. It was close, but it didn't make it.
Both teams with an equal number of snaps on offense. But Alabama's made theirs count. Tagovailoa, high and incomplete, intended for Ruggs. Nice job by Jeremiah Dinson in the secondary for Auburn, rather.
Yeah, he didn't really step into this throw. He had Ruggs coming right across the field, just threw the ball high, not a chance. And you know, when you're playing man-to-man coverage again, I mean, the whole game, that's been the game plan. Play man. If he makes the great throw, so be it.
Well, Bernier to punt, and it's going to be Christian Tutt back there. That would have been Ryan Davis, remember, as a punt returner. Tutt, a true freshman.
Came after it again.
And on the return, he got about 4 yards. Pretty good field position at the 40-yard line as we check in with Jamie on Ryan Davis.
Well, we saw him take that severe hit during that last series, walk off on his own power. He will stay at the stadium, Brad. The injury is not such that he has to be taken to a local medical center. So good news, at least with that he's able to stay here and in the locker room.
That's great. Thanks, Jamie. And Ryan, if you're watching the game in the locker room, wish you the best. I'm glad you're okay.
Well, he pulled his weight a year ago in this football game, and he has so far with the touchdown pass in this game as well.
Yep. Stidham and company from the 40.
What do they got? I don't know if they have anything, but continue to try to throw it to the receivers that have been dropping them.
I don't know what they haven't used so far.
Exactly.
This has worked okay. Whitlow for 3. And Keaton Anderson in on the tackle.
Jarrett Stidham, who was 21 for 28 in this game, 10 for 24, but he's got at least 5 drops, right?
Yeah. There you see number of plays and all of that relatively close time of possession, but the scoreboard is Alabama by 17. And again, a little sugar huddle. Everybody gets out quickly. Canella in the slot, Schwartz on the move. They fake it to him, and then they're going to throw it to him. Let's see what he can do in the open field. Just that much. Savion Smith with the tackle.
If you actually look at Patrick Surtain and Savion Smith at practice, the 2 corners for Alabama are big men. They're not little skinny little cover guys. They both go over 200 pounds, can handle you in that bump and run coverage, and both very sound tacklers. Do you call this with the idea you got 4 downs to make it?
Oh, little confusion there on the snap. Stidham's just going to let it fly. Center field, caught. This one, Slayton, touchdown. He didn't drop that one.
Mack Wilson was saying he pushed off, but it was such of an underthrow that Slayton saw it, and the defender did not. Savion Smith had no idea where the ball was. Right side watches. Oh, yeah, right at the end, his right hand got the little push.
Greatest underthrow of Jarrett Stidham's life.
Exactly. Mack Wilson saw it cleanly. Push off at the end of the play on a bad underthrow touchdown.
Extra point is up and good.
And I think that's what Gus was thinking about the field goal. We just got to keep trying to score touchdowns. That's our only chance.
They got one when they really needed it in 3 plays and just a minute and 20. Score for Auburn.
Yeah, and all the crowd here, and Mack Wilson wanted to call pass interference on that. I want to show you one more look at that.
Carlson's kick brings it out to the 25 for Alabama.
I think this is a good no call because both guys were jostling on the play. Watch the end of this play right down here. Look at that. The hand right there holding on to the left hand of Slayton. Lets it go. They both were fighting each other. He's holding the left hand, and that's why good no call on the play. Both guys fighting for the ball, and 81 Slayton heads up with it.
And by the way, Anthony Jennings was the reason that pass was underthrown, because he got to Stidham just when he let go of it. Now it's back in number 13's hands at the 3.5-minute mark, 3rd quarter. Tua Tagovailoa down the middle, stride to Devontae Smith.
Yeah, he might have missed the last one, but don't count on him missing 2 of them. Wide open. This little motion package has been freeing these crossing routes right behind the linebackers. He missed one on 3rd down, but he didn't miss that one.
Pick up a 20 to the 45. Snap a little bit low again. The handoff, Najee Harris. Najee follows his blockers. He's got a first down and 2 stiff arms to the face of Igbenogany.
What happens when you have the 2 running backs in, Josh Jacobs becomes an extra blocker right in front. Watch number 8. That's the guy that cleans it up for you. If you put on the tape and watch him, your quarterback run behind him, running back run behind him, reverse run behind him, he is just a leveler in front of those plays. Unless he has it, then he does it himself.
A 20-yard pass play, a 15-yard run, and now Tagovailoa again finds the open man. It's Devontae Smith. A little hesitation at the 10, and a touchdown. Fourth touchdown pass of the day for Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, Noah Igbenogany this time thinks he's got him, and then he does a sprint. He slows down, looks at the quarterback, and that's when he's beat. When you're in man coverage, you don't have time to turn around and look. The ball could be coming to your guy, and it was.
Extra point is good.
And
Devontae Smith just getting back to full health. So is Tua. Igbenogany camps under this one at the 5. Out to the 21 or 22, and that's it. So we take a look at our GMC game changer.
One of the traits that Tua is so good at in the pocket is redirecting his feet. These little subtle moves to the outside moves the defense. He stays in plane. His weight shift is perfect. And then when he delivers the ball, everybody else starts blocking. This time it was Ruggs downfield that helps. He sees it. If you don't get the ball, help. And Ruggs helps Smith get into the end zone.
17-point hole again for the Tigers. Can they dig out of it like they did on the last drive? Whitlow for a couple. As we hit the 2-minute mark remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's been Jatavius Whitlow pretty much all day. A little bit of Cam Martin earlier. But Whitlow, number 28, carried the load as far as the ground game today for Auburn. He shifts a little bit behind Stidham. And now it's a flea flicker. He has to throw it away. Almost caught by Coach Saban. Quinnen Williams was applying the pressure.
All right, do your assignment. When you're the safety and you're deep, you stay deep. And that time, Xavier McKinney stays deep. The flea flicker, nowhere to go with it.
Here comes Q, the man that says he just wants to dominate. Used that word about 12 times when we talked to him the last time we talked.
While he dominated a sandwich, too.
Going to call that intentional grounding. Second call we've had today, one on each side.
Thought he got out of the pocket on that play. Did he not get out of the pocket? And he crossed the line of scrimmage. I don't know.
I don't either. 3rd down and 19 is what we do know, and that's not good if you're an Auburn fan. They back out of the blitz. It doesn't matter. Jennings has got Stidham anyway.
Well, right now, you get in a long yardage situation, it's a feeding frenzy on the quarterback. They tried to do the flea flicker. That didn't work. And then when Q comes around one side, he forces him inside, and Jennings gets the cleanup.
Really did look like a Jaws movie.
It did. Williams comes around, does not get credit for the sack, but he sure caused it.
And now it's a punt from the end zone for Sippis. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Wow. Where are they going to spot this thing? Way out at the 43-yard line. College football playoff. Here's how it looked coming into the day. Alabama #1, obviously. Notre Dame plays tonight. Michigan got hammered by Ohio State. And Washington State lost the Apple Cup last night. So that kind of turns the apple cart upside down in a couple of spots.
It does. It was a big weekend, I think, for Ohio State. Having Washington State lose the way they win, I think they're now sitting where they believe they control their destiny.
Straight give to Damian Harris. To the 40. Now, we showed you this pass list earlier in the game for single season action. Alabama school history. We told you Tua could climb to #2 with a good game.
And I think it's close enough we're going to see him throw in the fourth quarter, too.
I believe so. Remember, one throw in the fourth quarter so far this year for him. And the fourth quarter is going to come in 10 seconds. And you're going to see everybody put up those 4 fingers on the Alabama side of things. They're 15 minutes away from an Iron Bowl win and a perfect record heading to Atlanta against Georgia. End of 3, 38-21. We'll return to Tuscaloosa right after this message and a word from your local station. Big game, 38-21 as we head into the fourth quarter. And Tua Tagovailoa, as we said, has 1 completion for 24 yards on 1 attempt in the fourth quarter.
Amazing.
Those are some of the other guys that have been mentioned in the Heisman chase, but we are going to see him here in the fourth quarter because he's about to take the snap on 2nd down and 7. It gives to Damian Harris. Harris backpedals his way and powers his way for another Alabama first down. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie's down on the field. You know, it's amazing. You get close, you get within 10, and Alabama's had the ball for 12 plays in the second half, and they have got 3 touchdowns. And they don't look out to be another one right there before we even get back on camera.
I think
first
you're
down
right.
for Waddle.
You know, I felt like Auburn was okay. They had everything in front of them, and then the pass to Judy.
Yeah.
That really what broke the dam here, and that's what it is when you play Alabama now. Why they're so different? They can attack you in so many different ways. They are not a one-dimensional offense anymore.
First down at the 22, threatening again. Pump fake one way, long ball the other. Touchdown. Well, they're going to say he's out. I don't know about that.
No, I don't either. Now, you are allowed to push him out, but I don't know if he did.
Now they say touchdown.
Yeah, I think that's a touchdown.
And as the late, great Keith Jackson once said, maybe it's hello Heisman for number 13. What a ball.
Well, I'll tell you, you put it up for grabs, and these receivers, remember, he was blocking on the last play. Oh, he had it, and that was clearly a touchdown. McCreary, number 17, was chasing behind. Ruggs, who was the key blocker on the last touchdown, is the key receiver on this one. And fourth quarter is good to Tua.
2 for 2. And the Chick-fil-A pylon cam. They talk about it. They give it to him. Touchdown. Number 5 for number 13 today.
Well, I think he's going to win the Heisman because he's been the talk of college football from game 1 all the way through the season. He changed Alabama football from the second half of that Georgia game all through this season. It has been a different franchise.
Tua Tagovailoa, 5 touchdowns on the day, 36 on the year, and the Tide is rolling. That's where we are right now, and the crowd in a frenzy with less than a minute gone here in the fourth quarter.
Brad, I was just thinking, watching that ball, the way Tua threw the ball, I started thinking Air Saban, like Air Coryell. Remember when Danny, our
Dan Fouts?
Yes, Danny Fouts would, back in the day when he had John Jefferson and Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow, Chuck Muncie at running back, Dan would just throw the ball up and start trotting to the sideline. I mean, I didn't understand how he played. He didn't care if the guy was covered or not. He let it go. That's how much faith, and that's what this Alabama pass offense looks like now.
Desperate times now for Auburn. They know they need to strike as quickly as possible as Shivers on the carry. Goes out for 5 yards.
And right now, while people are still watching this game here from anywhere outside of Alabama, as you watch them, I want the committee to tell me, no matter what happens in the next game, is Alabama not one of the 4 best teams?
I don't know how you think
I don't know how they could make that argument into the camera and say they're not one of the 4 best teams, and they're the one that created the best word. I mean, they're living with the word best. How could you not say it? Win or lose, Alabama's not in right now against Georgia.
Stidham, they're going to say, slid before the first down mark. I think Jason Jarrett.
And they're going to face a hot Georgia team in a week.
Yep. Well, I guess. So it's 3rd down.
Want to clear up a little thing. Remember we were talking about, we were a little confused why Jarrett Stidham did not have a intentional grounding. When you do a flea flicker, when you give the ball up and get it back, it waives your protection of being able to throw the ball away. Came right from the truck. Thank you. We're glad to clear that up.
Here's 1st down by Whitlow.
Right from Birmingham, Steve Shaw called in, and he was right. I do remember that now. We were confused and trying to figure it out, but that is, once you hand it off and you get it back, you cannot have the protection of being able to throw the ball away.
Shivers on the handoff. Runs into the middle of the Alabama defense. LeBron Ray quietly becoming a pretty integral part of that defense too.
Well, he has to now because Isaiah Buggs is out of the football game, and that's a key football player for this team. It shortens your rotation, one of your key defenders, especially with the way Georgia runs the ball, and that's where you're thinking right now. This game is over, but now you start thinking of getting out of this game and thinking about where, and I tell you right now, Nick Saban needs to warn his defenders, we do not need anything close to being targeting right now.
Shivers trying to cut it outside. And just as you said that, Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, but again, this is a ball carrier running. He does not have protection. Watch McKinney lower his head. And then Shivers lowers his head. McKinney's trying to go low and make the tackle.
He got him with the shoulder.
Yes,
anyway.
he did. But the defender initiated the running back initiated the contact.
3rd down at 6. Comes a blitz. Stidham trying to buy some time. Trying to run it himself, and he got it, I think. Tough run. Jennings brought him down. Whitlow was out there trying to lead block for him. And Whitlow's like, what should I do? And he goes, go hit somebody.
Christian Miller to the outside. He's being chased by Jack Driscoll, the offensive tackle, because he was pass rushing that time. And then he saw the receiver go to the flat, and he just trailed with him. That's why there was no one to throw to.
Back to Shivers for a couple. And time also for a Zaxby's update. Here's Zook in New York.
All right, Ness, we're into the 4th quarter in Nashville, and Vanderbilt's now up 24-7. Kyle Shermer to Amir Abdur-Rahman. Shermer's 25 of 28 with 2 touchdowns. The winner here goes bowling. The loser will be watching, guys.
Boy, Kyle's had a good career there, man.
He has. Especially this Alabama defensive line has to be careful not to get a targeting penalty late into this game now.
Shivers brought down by Dylan Moses, but he got to the 46-yard line. And we're approaching the 10-minute mark.
Tell you, watching this Alabama secondary, so impressive. Deontay Thompson, Xavier McKinney, 14 and 15. They'll come up and lick it. They hit, man. They are not back there just to knock down passes. They come out and really deliver the hit.
Another third down. Stidham got it with his legs on the last one. Deep drop, lofts it, and it's intercepted by Jennings. Anthony Jennings.
Jennings did his job exactly the way Christian Miller did before. Ed man to the line of scrimmage. Watch, he's going to be blocked, but he feels something, so he peels. He's supposed to rush the passer, but he feels something, so he backs off, and he gets in the way of the throwback pass. 47-33, two veterans do their jobs.
Tua Tagovailoa's day is done. 5 touchdown passes, 325 yards in the air. And ties Gary Hollingsworth for the most touchdown passes in a game. Going to give the coach a hug. His numbers now 3190 yardage, 36 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts in for him. And Jalen comes up throwing down the middle. Jalen Waddle. Jalen to Jalen. Waddle, great speed. He's gone. Touchdown. .53 yards. Jalen Hurts. 1 snap, 1 touchdown.
How about that? Is that not class from Jalen Hurts? A perfect throw. He wanted to stay to get better as a passer. He wanted to take a full year of coaching from Dan Enos, Mike Loxley, these great receivers, and hone his game. That looked pretty good to me.
Sure did. Bulletus extra point is good.
Nobody was happier than Tua. Remember a year ago, it was Jalen Hurts clapping for Tua as he came into the game. And then once Waddle gets it, we talk about fast players on the field. He's one of the fastest on the field. And Tua says, there it is. He cheered for me, and I cheered for him.
And there they are on the sideline. Another Alabama pass. Big smile from the coach for Jalen Hurts. 1 play, 10 seconds, 1 touchdown.
Remember in the offseason, and it's SEC Media Days, all the questions whether Nick was going to be able to handle this combustible 2-quarterback situation.
It's worked out pretty well.
Yes.
Fair catch taken at the 8-yard line. Well, the 1 year where Alabama wasn't so successful was a great one for Auburn. Remember the throwback touchdown pass, Cam Newton to Philip Lutzenkirchen in the 4th quarter, capped that wild comeback for Auburn, 28-27. Philip died in a car crash. A great kid. I know he's missed by his family. And we're going to have more on that in a second from Jamie. Quick up to the line from the Sugar Huddle. And the end around coming with Schwartz. And he got about an 8-yard gain as we check in with Jamie.
Yeah, that corner of the end zone is special for the Lutzenkirchen family. They were here earlier today, including his father, Mike. As you mentioned, Philip killed in that accident in 2014. His family went on to create the Lutzy 43 Foundation, focusing on those 43 key seconds and aiming to empower positive ambassadors for safe driving. You know, it's been 8 years since Philip's impact on the Iron Bowl, but as his father ensures, his legacy will live on.
That is nice. Abby and Mike, his parents. Gene Chiswick's got a couple of restaurants in Auburn, and one of them they have what they call Lutzenkirchen Corner, and it's got all his pictures up over the booth. Pretty cool. Draw play. Whitlow looking for a place to land like at the first down marker, but not quite.
Yeah, and as this season closes up, we just talk about Jalen Hurts. Let's talk a little bit about Jarrett Stidham. Gave them, this team came within maybe an injury last year in that SEC championship to having this team that could have won it. You remember those two knockoffs of Georgia and Alabama?
Yep.
Stidham sitting on top of the world. This has been a struggle this year. Now, what does he do? Does he go to the pros? Does he transfer? Touchdown pass, 4 receptions. Right behind him, Ruggs, he got his touchdown pass. 2 of them, 5 catches in this game. Waddle, the true freshman, got his, and of course Judy, 5 catches. What is it for a touchdown pass? All 4 of them with a touchdown pass in the game.
Weapons all over the place. Georgia beat Georgia Tech today 45-21, a 7-4 Georgia Tech team. Right now Alabama 52-21 over a 7-4 Auburn team. Does that set up a pretty good clash next week in Atlanta for us?
Well, you know, most every coach we talk to, and we're not going to quote him exactly, but just as a whole, pretty much conceded that the distance between Alabama and Georgia was significant. The rest of the league was playing for 3rd place.
Hand off to Shivers. Trying to go wide and run down by Dylan Moses. So I just talked about it. Next Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern, right here on CBS. SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper. It's Alabama. They'll be number 1. Georgia will probably be number 4, and we can change that graphic. But you can kick off your day with a drive to Atlanta presented by Mercedes-Benz, beginning at 2:30 Eastern, followed by the State Farm College Football Today with Adam and the gang. Gary and Jamie and I and our crew will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We hope you join us.
And both quarterbacks come in hot. Didn't Jake Fromm, you were following, didn't he throw 4 touchdown passes?
I think yeah, career high for him.
So one comes in with 4, the other one comes in with 5.
That's not bad. And I think Jake got him to 4 different guys today, too, if I'm not mistaken. Pass intended for Whitlow over his head. The last 2 meetings between Georgia and Alabama. I mentioned this one earlier. Aaron Murray had a pass tipped. Had they just dropped that, they might have had another snap, but that ended at the 5-yard line, and Alabama with the win. And then we know about the national championship as a guy named Tua Tagovailoa came into the second half and in overtime throws the touchdown pass for a national title. And that was in the same stadium. The other one was in the Georgia Dome in 12. Should be a dandy next week. Stidham down the middle, and it is almost intercepted by Shaim Carter.
And again, it could be, was it roughing or the passer here?
There is a flag down, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I think Quinnen Williams got a hand to the head.
Hand to the head. Should have been there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 92. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if I'm Alabama, I'm getting him out of the game. He cannot get a late penalty and miss the first half of the next game. Quinnen only knows one way to play, and I'd be putting him on backups.
Here he comes out.
Yes. Air Coryell has to start thinking about, Air Saban has to start thinking about his defense for next week.
$16 combined penalties today. It has been physical as always, as every Iron Bowl seems to be.
Yeah, Alabama, when we were here last time against Mississippi State, had no penalties. Today they've got 8 in this game.
Is Auburn going to take a timeout here? They do, with 6:44 remaining here in Tuscaloosa.
Dedication, attention to detail, and going above and beyond. That's what it takes to do things the right way. With Rocket Mortgage, you can count on us to get your mortgage right. Because when it comes to buying a home, the right way should be the only way. Rocket Mortgage, America's largest mortgage lender and proud supporter of college athletics.
Coming up after our game, stay tuned for the CBS Sports College Football Postgame Show presented by Capital One. Adam and the guys, BJ and Rick, along with you. look back at this one and all the other big games today, including Ohio State's win over Michigan. Throw out in the flat to Eli Stove. And Stove will be brought down before he can get to the first down. Got to the 35, however.
Yeah, this Auburn team this year came back with the 4 returning receivers. Nate Craig Myers, who has since transferred. Eli Stowe was coming back. He got nicked, has never been able to find the rotations. And Will Hastings gave it a try against LSU and has since shut it down till next year. That means only 1 returning. Darren Slayton has been able to play. So besides having to replace the whole offensive line, they had to replace their whole receiving core. And no Kerryon Johnson. It has been a rebuild on an offense that a lot of people thought was pretty stacked coming back because of Jarrett Stidham.
Well, they started off so well in the opener against Washington and Atlanta, and then we saw them relatively early against LSU when they lost on the kick at the buzzer, and then things started wobbling a little bit for them. Lost a couple of games they felt they should have won, especially one at home to Tennessee. And then put things together. Had won 3 of the last 4 coming into this. But it's a buzzsaw they ran into today, Alabama.
I thought that LSU game took a lot out of them.
I think so, too.
And they had that ball go right over to Sean Davis's hand. Big play. They thought they had the game well in control, and I don't think they found their footing again.
Right.
They got embarrassed by Mississippi State that game.
3rd down at 4. And whistle before the snap.
Offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I guess it was on Jarrett Stidham.
It just hasn't worked this year for Gus Malzahn and Auburn. I mean, Georgia put over 500 yards of offense on them.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's besides 3 other teams put over 400. Alabama's closing in on 500. What are they at, 490 something or something like that? So this, you know, because of the offense not being able to sustain any drives, that defense just been overworked. They were good in the first half, but couldn't hold it together long term.
There you saw the numbers, 492, 378 in the air. Whitlow can't handle the pass. Incomplete.
Yeah, I think the mercy call here for Gus Malzahn would be to punt it.
And hope that Alabama takes a couple knees. And they will bring out the punting unit. Well, coming into this game, Nick Saban was in his 74th game as the #1 team in the country, more than any coach at one school. This will be, he has 10, 11 win or more seasons here. And as we said, the dominance continues. We'll just see what happens next week.
Here's a quirky one for you. For the 11th consecutive year now, the Georgia-Alabama two-step has worked out the same way. 3 times Auburn has beaten Alabama and Georgia in the same year.
Yep.
And the rest of the time, 8 times, it has been 0-2. You're either 2-0 or 0-2, and it's going to be 0-2 this year.
Jalen Hurts coming back out. From the 10-yard line. Najee Harris right in the middle for a couple.
You know, Ness, we were talking to Coach Saban Friday about the transfers of quarterbacks, and he said, I really think now Jalen has to think about transferring. And he said, and I'm for it, right? He said, I'm for him to look at, but look at the success in college football. And these are top-rated teams that transfer quarterbacks have had in football. I mean, right down the list.
Made a major impact, all those guys.
Major impact, and I think, you know, a couple guys are going to be, you know, sought after. You know, Kelly Bryant's going to be sought after. Jalen Hurts is going to be sought after. I mean, don't know, and I don't want to throw anything in the middle of it, but what's going to happen with Georgia? Jake Fromm's playing. They ain't going to bench Jake Fromm. He's playing too good, and, you know.
Justin Fields wants to play too.
Wants to play too. And if he looks around and he goes, look at what other people have done when they've left.
Right.
Hard to say. And I'm just going to stick it out and play 1 year.
I asked Nick in that same meeting, I said, you think he will ask your opinion on where he should go if he transfers or when he transfers? And Nick kind of looked at us and he goes, well, you know what? We've been in this together since I recruited him, and now the whole 3 years and the whole thing this year, I would think that he and his parents would probably ask my opinion at least and want to talk about it. And Jalen goes for close to the first down.
So ironic that Kelly Bryant and Jalen Hurts, the two quarterbacks that took their teams to the championship, are on the free agent market.
Yeah, wow.
And, you know, Nick really struggled with it. He saw the talent of Tua, but he was loyal. I mean, loyal to a guy that took him to 2 championships.
Right, only lost 2 games in whatever, 2 years.
But in this game a year ago, you could see the cracks in the offense, and it eventually caught up to him in the Georgia half, and he had to make the change.
And if you wonder why he made that change last year and then this year, well, we'll show you a few of the reasons. Like, he can run pretty well. Maybe not Jalen Hurts great, but he's pretty good with his feet. And then he does this a lot.
And he has total confidence as receivers, and his receivers have total confidence that if they get open, the ball will find them.
He not only has total confidence in his receivers, he has total confidence in his arm.
Yeah. And you know, it is like playing basketball with Magic Johnson. You know that if you get open, the ball's coming to you, you know?
And Auburn goes to its backup quarterback, Malik Willis. And Malik with a 3-yard gain. So we're down close to 2 minutes. Well, we talked 3.5 hours ago about the differences of these two teams from one season to the next. Last year it was Kerryon Johnson, who was the SEC Player of the Year and helped Auburn to the upset over both Georgia and Alabama before being banged up in the SEC title game. And we look at Alabama team that was struggling a little bit with their air game this time a year ago. And now look at them. It's like Gary said, air Saban and air Tua. He would never want us to say that, but he'll hear about it. Second team in college football history to outscore each of their 12 opponents by 20 or more. And I guess Yale did it back. I don't remember those days. Walter Camp, I think that was his first team at Yale, maybe back in '88. But they have been, again, unbelievably impressive here. This is 26 straight wins at home coming up here in a minute. And remember, that was a 71-74 stretch with Coach Bryant. So that was a long string of wins, but none better than this one now.
Yeah, they got pushed a little bit in this football game. 17-14. You could feel the pressure at halftime, but that pass to Judy down the sideline changed it. Really remarkable to get in this position, an undefeated season, and never really get into a fourth quarter game where there has been any stress on their kicking game at all so far.
They've now won, or will here in a second, 41 of their last 42 games here in Tuscaloosa. As Willis takes it wide and about a yard shy of the first down. They have led or been tied for all but 70 seconds this year. You talk about not being pressed in the fourth quarter. They haven't been pressed, period. And down to what might be the final snap. And there you have it. A perfect regular season for Alabama. 12-0, 8-0 in the conference, and an Iron Bowl number 83 that goes the way of the Tide. Handily. Couple veteran quarterbacks that might be playing somewhere else next year except in those uniforms. The winning coach is with Jamie.
I think you did better. Coach just asked me if they did better. I think you did. What do you think?
Well, we played better in the second half, you know, but played better on offense, made some explosive plays. I think scoring early in the second half was really big for us.
How has this team continued to play the right way down the stretch to set you up for an SEC championship game?
Well, you know, if these guys need to be motivated for that, I mean, they've had a great season, and we certainly want to, you know, congratulate them for that, winning 12 games, but really doesn't mean much if we can't do a good job next week against a really good Georgia team.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.